This short lecture is going to explain the relationship between a holding and a subsidiary company and the meanings of each of these terms. So if you look at the Companies Act 2017, the relationship between a subsidiary company and a holding company is defined very formally, of course, like all other definitions, and it can be quite difficult to understand the meaning if you look at this definition alone. So I did not read out that definition at all. If you want, you can pause the video and read that definition. However, I'm going to directly use an example to illustrate the relationship between a holding and a subsidiary company. Okay, so here in front of you, you can see that I have drawn three circles. The first circle, that is the red one, represents the company named A Limited. The second circle, which is smaller than the first one, represents another company named B Limited, and this is the green one. And the third circle, which looks red but is actually orange, represents the third company named C Limited. Okay, so please don't get confused by the fact that these three circles, that is the three companies, are drawn in different sizes. That is, A Limited is a bigger circle than B Limited and B Limited is a bigger circle than C Limited. I just wanted to very clearly differentiate the fact that these are three different companies and therefore three separate legal entities. So the size of the circle should not indicate anything important for the moment. Now let's look at the relationship between these three. So first and foremost, we are told that A Limited holds 60% of the shares in B Limited. So because of this fact, remember that A Limited is the holding company and B Limited, in which A Limited holds 60% of the shares, is going to be considered as A's subsidiary. That is, B Limited is a subsidiary company of A Limited, and this is because the very first rule, if you want, you can refer back to that slide that I shared earlier at the beginning of this video, where the formal rule is stated under the Companies Act 2017. So according to the first rule, if one company holds more than 51% of the shares in another company, then that later company is considered as a subsidiary of the first company. So in this example, we can see why A Limited is the holding company of B Limited. And please note that the reason that I said that one company should hold 51% at least of the shares of the other company is because it's not enough to hold just 50%, that is half of the shares in another company. The rule says that one company has to hold more than one half of the shares of that other company, and obviously more than one half means it should be greater than 50%, so at least 51% is going to be the minimum. And for example, if the other company holds, as in this particular case, 60% shares of the other company, then that definitely does count as more than 50% of the shares. Okay, moving on, we are also told further that B Limited holds 14% of the shares of C Limited, which is another company, and from this you can see that B Limited does not hold more than half of the shares of C Limited very clearly, because 14% is definitely way less than 50% of the shares. So B Limited, as far as we are concerned at the moment, is not going to be a holding company of C Limited if this is the only information that we have. However, if we move on to the third piece of information, we can see that B Limited not only holds just 14% of the shares of C Limited, but also that B Limited has entered into an agreement with other shareholders of C Limited so as to appoint 4 out of the 7 directors on the board of directors of C Limited. Now, because of this piece of information, we can observe that 4 out of 7 means more than 50% of the directors are going to be appointed by B Limited on the board of directors of C Limited, and this piece of information is very crucial. Why? Because there is yet another rule under the Companies Act 2017, and once again, if you want, you can refer to that very first slide that I shared at the beginning of this video, where the rule is stated formally. So according to this other rule, B Limited is a holding company of C Limited, and this is not because B Limited holds more than 50% of the shares of C Limited. We clearly see that that is not the situation here. However, B Limited does control the composition of the board of directors of C Limited. Why? Because more than 50% of the directors on the board of directors of C Limited, that is 4 out of the 7 directors, are going to be appointed by B Limited. So because of this we can see that B Limited has the authority, because of this agreement that they have entered into with C Limited, to appoint more than 50% of the directors for C Limited. And because of this, what this essentially means is that B Limited is going to control the composition of the board of directors of C Limited, and this again means, like I said earlier, that B Limited is a holding company of C Limited, and that vice versa, what this simply means is that C Limited is a subsidiary of B Limited. Now this much was pretty straightforward, and let me just very quickly summarize the two rules that we just studied. First of all, that the first situation where a company is going to be considered as a holding company of another company is where the first company holds more than half of the shares in that other company, and the second situation is where the first company controls the composition of the board in the other company. So these are the two situations where one company is going to be considered as the holding company and the other company is going to be considered as the subsidiary company. Now this is where the situation gets interesting, because there is yet another rule, that is the very third one. Once again, if you want, you can refer to the slides and look at the very last clause, which states something very complicated, but let me simply explain that to you. So it simply says that one company can also be considered as the holding company of another company, where, for example, in our situation we can see that A Limited is the holding company of B Limited, but B Limited is the holding company of C Limited, right? So in this kind of situation, because of the third clause, A Limited is also the holding company of C Limited, and this is simply because B Limited is the holding company of C Limited, and by virtue of the fact that B Limited itself was a subsidiary of A Limited. Remember, the first point here clearly states that A Limited is the holding company of B Limited, and of course we know that B Limited is itself the holding company of C Limited. So by virtue of the fact that B Limited is a holding company of A Limited, it follows that C Limited is also a subsidiary of A Limited. That is, A Limited is the holding company not just of B Limited but also of C Limited. And once again, this is simply because of the third clause as per the definition of the holding and subsidiary company under the Companies Act 2017, that if for example, as in our situation, let me just repeat this once more in case it is not clear, that because A Limited is the holding company of B Limited, but then B Limited is itself the holding company of C Limited. So by virtue of this fact, C Limited is a subsidiary of obviously B Limited but also of A Limited.